What's up? What's up? Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna get straight down into it. We're gonna go over the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. We'll break down a few more tickers. Also, there is a new thing I'm trying. So back over on Don Fran's show, I'm gonna keep it AI related. I've done just a lot of like AI news. You guys saw me. We interviewed a neurologist. I'm this close to getting a lawyer on there to talking about lawyers and AI. But I'm going to start doing the expected moves of the top 7, the big ones that I have invested. So when you see 2 notifications, just know Don Fran's show. That's going to be just the AI stuff, and it won't be live like it will be right here. So you will get a notification for that. I want to say probably in 22 minutes if you're catching this live. But anyway, we're not going to wait for anyone to trickle in. We're going in. As far as the dollar goes, it's breaking up, making me poorer by the minute. Again, if this breaks, I have to get out. This is why I'm so stubborn right here. So this is the US dollar, Japanese yen, the conversion, and this is problematic for it to be this high as far as the countries go and economies. This is 1989. This was. So last time we had this meltdown, I was born and had to correct things. That's basically what happened in 88. Once I was born, things turned around. You'll notice there's a big crash back then too, and I thought, I'll handle it. But yeah, like Cody says, it's problematic for your account. Yeah, I'm short this, and I don't want to miss it. If we make a move from here, from here to here, still, that's $1 million move for me. Like literally $1 million move for me. If it were to go down here, even more. Probably more like 3 with the way I'd be adding on. But I don't want to miss out on this, so you'll see me get pretty stubborn with this particular one. It will have a lot more leeway than you've seen any of my normal trades. Typically, I'm not like I'm either right or I'm wrong instantly. There's no jacking around. This one, I'm going to die on this hill. Not my account, but I will fight someone to the death. Quite literally. But right now, I do need it to go around. We've gotten just outside this box once before, came right back down, so I do need it to chill. But I do have to send one quick text real quick. Sorry, yeah, I got some real estate stuff going on. Turning on Eddie mode for this trade. Kind of. Man, no, I will still stop out. But I feel like a lot of people, when they watch me, they'll see me get in a trade and out of it a couple days later, and then they've seen me in this one for weeks. And I'm on a much higher time frame on this one. So no, I'm not whole accounting right here and then losing sleep when it gets this high, you know. Everything I do calculated, so entry, stop loss, all of that, all figured out before I ever hit the buy button, in this case the sell short button. I'm short this, so the more this goes down, the more money I will make. But that being said, on a monthly time frame, just by naturally moving up, your position gets smaller, your stop gets wider, so you can hang out on things a little bit longer. As far as Bitcoin goes, coming right on down, which is weird because everyone on Facebook told me it was just going to go up forever, and then it didn't. Interesting. I never know why they don't comment. They never comment when it's red. They only comment when it's green. Anyway, we broke this rate. Again, we were range bound. It broke this. It is headed down. So I do kind of want to buy somewhere here at this 62 mark. Ultimately, it'd be really nice if I could buy right here at 51. But yeah, we'll see. For it to get to 51 right now, there'd be a lot of headlines, a lot of stuff going on. Which makes me think I might just grab some right now. Did I calculate NVIDIA to 140? No. NVIDIA, I saw some tweets, some interesting stuff about NVIDIA. It's the #1 shorted stock out there. Which means it'll probably go to 140 or 160. As far as the S&P goes, the open means nothing right now. This is the open right here. And ultimately, nothing. So futures are open. I did go short over the weekend because we just kind of broke this. I did go short thinking we'll probably pop down. Not that I'm not to fear monger or anything like that. I just think we pull back a little bit further. I already bought the dip. It popped. So I was short last week, and then I bought the dip. Now the shorts panned out. I can't remember if I either I can tell you right now, if I made any money, it wasn't anything. Nothing for me to even remember. Because I tried going long. But right now, I think we pulled back a little bit further. So I did go short over the weekend. I'm back in the – so I was in the 547 puts and then jumped into the 547 calls. And right now, I'm in the 545 puts. So hopefully it just melts down. If Putin could hop on Twitter and pop off a couple threats, maybe text Biden something, that would just work out in my favor. That's right. I don't have risk analysis. I have Don. You better get you one. All right. The expected moves are up. So if you guys do have my charts, it is updated. You're rocking and rolling. Expected move for the actually, I'll pull it up real quick. Again, this is what market makers have calculated risk. So the Russell right now, 381, QQQ, 799, SPY, the S&P, 649, Tesla, 867, Meta is a $15 move, Microsoft, 870, NVIDIA, 805, Amazon, 516, make sure my head's not in the way, Apple, 546, okay, you can't see the rest of these tickers, so pay attention. Google, 445, Ford, 36 cents, Palantir, 122, Intel, my tablets are in the way, 114, and AMD, 759. So again, these are up or down. This is how market makers, they don't attack you like everyone says. It really bugs me. People are like, oh, the market makers got you. Like, no, they didn't. You just have no idea what you're talking about. They calculate the risk. They are hedged accordingly. So as long as the market stays inside here, the big guys, they don't have to do anything. They hang tight. When it gets outside these moves, that's when you see me perk up, because that's when I'll start selling options contracts to the gamblers that think it's probably going to keep going. But when we get outside these moves, more than likely it's going to rein it back in. That's when somebody at the big scary desks, they have to come on, turn the algorithms on, kind of rein it back in, or we send it 2 standard deviations. And things get spicy. Putin visited North Korea this weekend. Well, did they fire anything off? Because it's not reflected in the markets. What's up, Rachel? Puffer Squid. Hi, my mom sent me here. I think I know your name. I might be texting your... That sounds bad. I might be texting your mom. Yeah, what's up, man? Make sure you ask questions. 100%. Do not think it's stupid. If there's something you don't know, just let me know, and we'll answer it. Maybe he bought a winter home there. Yeah. Putin's just shopping for a vacation. Rachel says turbo. I don't know what turbo means. We can kick the turbo on. I know nothing about stocks. Then you're in the right place, because I need people that know nothing about stocks so I can show them about stocks. Oh, and on this channel, guys, you probably saw last night was a super late upload. I have a whole bunch of questions that I'm just going to start answering in videos. They're going to have a very similar – I'm going to keep the same template on the thumbnail so you guys will know. It's just going to be the black and blue thumbnail. So any questions now, if I see it more than once, it's going up in a video format. So just look for it there. It'll all be in a playlist. But I'm hoping everyone, if they have questions, just checks that out. And honestly, that's how this whole channel even got started. People found out I did stocks for a living and started asking me questions, and I just got tired of repeating myself. So I made a video. So I'm just going back to the basics. From now on, you ask a question, I'm gonna put it there, because I can tell you guys right now, whatever question you've asked, I've probably already answered it, and I mean this in a very literal sense, probably thousands of times. And I would put all my money on that. There's just not anything you're going to ask me that I haven't already answered. What's up, Win? Man, so I'm short the S&P, but the NASDAQ, if I was short the NASDAQ, I just don't know how much. What you're looking for is kind of like an S-curve. You want to just roll back down. I would be nervous. If I was short the NASDAQ right now, my stop would be right above this base. If it breaks outside of this, and we'll draw these here, and you guys know what these means. If you don't, if you can know what these means. Anyway, if you see 2 red lines like this, just like on Bitcoin, when it breaks, That is something along those time frames. There is a candle, and we've been just inside of it the whole time. So all the news headlines, everything you've seen up and down, it just doesn't matter at all. It's all calculated. Everybody knows it. Unless you have illegal insider information, in that case, find my information, find my number, and let me know. But without that illegal information, just know that you know nothing compared to everybody else, and it's already priced in. For now, the break above or below will probably be the continuation right here. The trend is still down. If that breaks down, probably not much of a shock. If this starts to turn around, that probably would be seen as a higher low, and tech's just been on an absolute beast run, so then at that point, I would assume continuation. All right, expected moves. We got plenty of room for this week. Ooh, okay, the Russell. Man, this is actually a tough one because I don't know if I would buy or short this. It's going to be one of those zones where it's bullish above, bearish below. I already bought it down here when it shot up, and I told you guys don't do that again if it hits the zone again. And it came right back down into it. We just bounced. The problem is we didn't have any follow through. So do the buyers show up and just try to save this thing, or does it continue its way down? This is my alert to buy more. Or buy. Sorry, I'm not in this right now. But I will buy down here. If I had to take a trade right now, I would rather just not. Sometimes, and not taking a trade is a play. Cash is a trade. It's a bad one because your money just goes down because we like to print more of it. But hey, go savings accounts, right? It's weird. People with savings accounts, they're just not rich. But we tell everyone to get one. And then the banks use your money in the savings account to make money. Is it just weird that people have never put that together? Cash is a position. It is. I had that conversation with somebody the other day, though. I was like, man, first of all, one of my cars, I said, this is cool. If you don't drink your coffee for the next 86 years, you'll have enough for a down payment. I had to do the math. It was literally 86 years. But man, we sure like to preach that a lot. Just drink your coffee. If it makes you feel better, drink it. Use that caffeine to put together a better business plan and do something with your day. Printing money, isn't that bad for the economy? It sure is, but don't tell anyone in politics that, or do maybe, because they don't know. We certainly like to print it. We got a lot of ink. I always have cash on hand just in case I want to get into another position. Yeah, don't confuse what I'm saying with that, because you don't want to just be out here whole accounted, just 100% exposure to an absolute nightmare one day. That would suck. Guys, I don't know if I would have a play. If you told me you were long or short this, my only question would be, where's your stop? If you're wrong, where do you get out? Are you going to stop? Like, if I'm short, my stop's going to be right here. If I'm long, my stop's going to be right here. So full sin, that thing can go whichever way it wants. I'm either going to tag out or I'm going to make money. That's it. Ever heard of margin? We know Cody has. Cash is a position, not an exciting one, unless there's a dip buy opportunity. Yeah. Cash needs to have a job or waiting on the sidelines for a job. If your cash isn't working, it needs to look like it's standing on the side of Home Depot waiting to work. That's it. Not hanging out. Yeah. Okay, 60-40. Same thing. So this is the Russell Futures. This is just the ETF that tracks it. 60% chance I'd be long. So gun to my head, I would have to take a long position. That would be pesos. All right. Tesla. Again, Tesla's the one I'm nervous about as far as like selling calls against, because I do think Tesla's going to move up. And when it does, or if, I worry about it being a very explosive move. And if you guys don't know, when I have 100 shares, I do like to sell options contracts against it. Think of 100 shares as a vacant house. And every 100 shares you have is a unit, and then you like to collect rent on that. And so, like, I would sell the 200 strike calls, and that would be my weekly rent. And that's an income strategy that I make money every week on. I wish there was a better strategy for it. I just call it free internet money. Sorry, I wish there was a better word for it. But anyway, with Tesla, it's most time I'm right outside the standard deviation. Hey, the market makers are here. I'm going to hedge with them. I'm going to be right there. And hopefully I get some growth in the shares, and then I collect some free money. When it lines up and there's a zone right above, if I want the extra assurance, then I go just outside of it. With Tesla, I think that's a bare minimum right now. I even selling the 200s, I think, could be aggressive, because Tesla could go from 183 to 200 inside of Monday. That's it. We've seen it hit the expected move, last week? Literally Monday. So I think I'm moving Palantir in that group. Steve says, I haven't been selling calls on Tesla, AMC, or NVIDIA. Don't want to get called out. Okay. I don't have AMC. Tesla, I still am, but it's been, I'm collecting peanuts. You guys are making as much on the Palantir contract as I'm collecting on Tesla. But again, I like free money, and I don't have to do anything to collect it. Puffer Squid, pesos is just a different currency. You pay with cash, dollars, U.S. dollars. Pesos is just the Mexican currency. Maybe that's dumb, but would hate to lose those stocks. The only thing I would push back on that, Steve, is AMC. If I had the opportunity to sell an options contract, collect some money, and let it go, full send. That's not one I would want to. This is not one I want to hold. I mean, the CEO is already just spit in everybody's faces. Remember when they bought a gold miner just to make the people happy. So they know that retail traders are buying this. They have a fiduciary response to their shareholders, which is mind-boggling, because then they just sell to them and just snuff them down. And I know a lot of people want to get this short squeeze going, and they want to be part of a movement, and that's cool and all. But if you really want to make money and not a Facebook post, this is one I would it would be on the chopping block. Premiums are pretty high on this. I'll even pull it up right now. So let's just say we bought 100 shares right now for $455. You go out and buy 100 shares. It's expecting 75 cents. So you could sell the 550s. Selling the 550s, I would spend $455, buy 100 shares, and then I would collect $10 for this Friday's expiration. So premium-wise, it probably doesn't sound like a lot to some, but that's okay. I mean, typically, or if I was going to make $10 on a contract like that, so 10 cents per share times 100 shares is your $10, which is, for anybody that doesn't know that. That's why I'm looking at this thinking $10, not 10 cents. That's high. For me to get $10, I would expect to probably have a $1,500 stock out there. Puffer says, I don't understand anything you're saying. For now, it's your first video. Keep it coming and ask questions, I promise. Yeah, it does come with time. Yeah, if you trust me, if I could explain all this in 15 minutes and make you a super trader, that video would be out. Okay, so Donald says it is 102% annually, selling the $10 per week at $455. Yeah, and you can play with those numbers and get excited. The premium is pretty juiced up for that. But you're going to hold this thing at $455, collect your $10 a week, and then they're going to come out and sell more shares, and then all of a sudden it'll be at $355. And you have at least 10 weeks of that just to get back to break even. So I can understand holding this for the premium and selling it and kind of just collecting that money against it. I guess you could spend $900. If you had $900, that's basically free Chipotle a week, because you'd be getting $20 a week. But the first opportunity I had, I would let it go. You'll make more money just letting the shares go at that point. Cody says it takes time. I was crap, but now I'm the best in the game. Cody has done well. Cody is one of the he's a pretty good example of jumping in my group. He didn't know a single thing. The guy was buying a picture of a monkey. The NFTs, just losing money hand over fist. But anyway, now he actually is killing it. He understands what free internet money is. Enough with NFTs. Oh, you meant AMD, not AMC? Okay, Steve. I spent way too much on AMC talking about that, and that did surprise me that you were an AMC. Cody's your poster boy. He's done well. A lot of people usually learn how to trade stocks, and then they say thanks, and then I never see him again. Like it's a genuine response. Thanks, I bought a house. I did this. If you guys remember the Canadian, we called him the Canadian. He followed me, took all his money, and opened up his own detailing business in Canada. That's what he really wanted to do, so we just use this as an avenue for that. So there's a lot of success stories, but yeah, Cody's sticking around, which I like. Technician says, pufferfish. It is by design that you don't understand anything he is talking about. Not my design, but yes. As long as I use big words, so I call it the language of money. I'm sure everyone else does. I didn't coin that or anything, but the big words, right? It makes it sound too hard, so that you think I'm gonna pay somebody who wears a suit to do that for me, because I don't know. Surely it's way out of my league, and it's really not. That's just their moat, their barrier. It's just some simple vocabulary. Most of the time, people are just overthinking it. Okay, so you've been waiting. You've been hesitant to sell calls on AMD. You could probably. What do the 180s go for? There's no way AMD. Let me rephrase that. It's just not likely AMD goes to 180. It's $19. See, the deltas, yeah, so deltas are 5, which means there's a 95% chance you just keep the $19. And I would still rather do that, because let's say AMD does just send it and it pushes to 180. What are you going to be in? You're going to probably be in a rolling situation, so you'll still collect next week's premium, which will be, if it pushed to 180 right now, then next week you'll roll that same contract. You'll probably, if it pushed right to 180, you would still keep his $19, and then you would sell the next week's for $300. For what it would have to do, so think about this. For what AMD would have to do to really put you in a struggling position, it would have to exceed this. Probably push to the 190s. And at that point, you would be $10 out of the money. Let's see. What's $10 in the money? I wonder how much you're... It's still $70 a week as far as like premium goes. Hang on. $10. I did that wrong. $150. Yeah, $70 a week. So I was right. So even rolling in the money, you would just collect $70 the next if it pushed way past your strike. So I view it as, what contract can I sell? And my worst case scenario is, all right, I'm rolling up and out. I sell the 180s. It just sends it to 190. So the next week I would sell the 181s, and the following week 182s, and just start working it away. All right. Do we need any? Try to see if there's any other calls we need to do today, because we're about to jump into the Zoom. So you would just keep rolling up every week. If it pushed into the money, yeah. Yeah, some people like to roll up and out all in 1 week. They give it 90 days or something like that. I don't, because in the money doesn't matter. When you sell options contract, again, for the free internet money, right, you're collecting a week's worth of theta. Now, you'd like to sell out of the money just so there's just so it's free money the whole time, and there's no risk of early assignment or anything like that. You can do $10 in the money if you wanted. It's still going to be a week's worth of theta, a week's worth of time value. Now, at the money, so when you look at the money, for anybody else, this is probably confusing. But when you look at this shaded area, the not shaded area, this is in the money, this is out of the money. It means the stock price is right here. Stock price is 161, so this is 160, this is 162, we're right in the middle. The most you can collect is right here at the money. The further you go in the money or out of the money, the less theta there is. That's all. Now, if you go in the money like this, the person might just say, exercise that contract. They want your shares. Now, when you sell a call, your shares get called away. It's where it gets its name from. So, for instance, if I were to own this, if I were to go out and buy AMD right now at $160 a share, and I sell this contract for 140, now I could do that and still make money. Because if I bought it at 160, I would sell my shares at 140, but he would pay me $22 a share. So if I did that, I would actually still make $200. But what would end up happening is the options clearing corp might just say, close all these contracts, assign them all. And since I sold in this contract the right to buy my shares at 140, he would go ahead and buy my shares at 140. So I would buy at 160, sell at 140. Now I would keep all his money. In this case, I would actually still be positive. But that's how that would work. So that's why people like to sell outside here, out of the money, because just that's not going to happen. It's cheaper to go to the market and buy your 100 shares. You usually sell the 20, 25 deltas. So a lot of what I do, so I'm right here at the 17s. I like the teens. I'm 18, 17. I'm above 15. I'm below 20, and it just falls somewhere in this. Now, if I want to get aggressive, then I'm going to bump it up. I probably am selling the 27 deltas. But if I'm thinking like Tesla, like you're being shy with AMD, at that point, I want to chill out, so I'll go a little bit further out. So right now, if I had AMD, I would collect $105. But if I want to chill out because I think a move's about to come, then I'll sell this one. And at this point, it's the 4 deltas. Your deltas are just like the chances of that person actually winning. And you as the seller, you are the slot machine. The person pulling that lever, he has a 4% chance. You have a 96% chance you're going to keep all his money, and he's going to pay you $21. So yeah, I would rather collect the $21 than nothing. But that's how I adjust what I'm doing. I still like to collect money on it. I don't like to just have shares sitting there. I wish I could call any one of my, what do you call them? Bills? What's the water company? Utilities. There is where I was looking for. I wish I could call them and say, hey, hang tight. The stock market hasn't paid me yet, so can you wait? They would probably laugh and hang up. So because I don't have that luxury, I would have to continue to sell and make money. Yeah, so you'll try further out of the money. Yeah, and then just think worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you sell the what are these, the 180s? Hang on, where's the $20? The 190s. If AMD pushed to 190 and you sold your shares, now for you to actually be in a I have to sell my shares scenario, it'd probably have to just push up to $300. At that point, you're not going to collect anything. There's no week's worth of theta for that. You would be screwed. And then what are the chances it pushes to 300? Yeah, it would suck because you would have sold your shares at 190 and watched it go to 300. So you don't lose. You just left money on the table, theoretical money. But then again, what are the chances of that? Thinking about, man, I should have known is like saying I should have known the lottery numbers. That's not going to happen. 190 would be more comfortable. Yeah, and then you're still collecting something. Still got the gain train rolling. What you could do with that is you sell the 190, take that $21, and go buy a share of Palantir. Snowball it into another position. When that is going to be the next video. We already did the tickers. When. We're about to jump into Zoom right now. I was just going to answer that last question. On these Sunday videos, I'm going to break down the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and then a couple random tickers, and then jump in the chat and answer questions there. But we already have all the expected moves. We have everything. So if you're part of the mentorship group, don't go anywhere because we're going to jump on Zoom right now. Hang on. I don't have any money, at least not in the 200s, so I will come back then. The best time to learn is right now when you don't have any money. Because you might think you know something, jump in and lose your money, and that's going to suck. Learn now while you have nothing to lose. Because trust me, it'll take a little bit for you to learn anyway. There's no need to lose any money. We can do GameStop. So GameStop we do have in the growth account. Do we have Cody? Do we have Palantir? Did we sell this week's or next week's? Have a good one, Mary. Okay, so we should have. I was going to say we should have Palantir. The two things we should have in the growth account should be GameStop or Palantir. But a part of me was thinking we sold next week's for some reason. Oh God, the spikes. As long if this breaks, I'm gonna close it. There's no way I want to own GameStop and just rock that thing all the way down here. So for now, I will probably sell. Right now we're at the 26s. So the alert you guys will probably get tomorrow morning. Let's see, 28th expiration. Well, the 26 is paying. 26 will give us $100. Yeah, I will, because going to the 25s to collect the extra 20 bucks. I would like to keep it 3 digits. Is that weird? The 27s. I guess if we're going for it in the morning, then I might hang out. But this will likely be a play at the bell. And you guys will get notified. So if you're on the Patreon or anything like that, you'll get notified when I take this play. But as it stands right now, give me 1 second. I can actually pull it up on Robinhood. Give me 1 second. Because Robinhood has 24 hours trading, so we can see what the price is and if we're going to be adjusting that up or down. I forgot about our Tesla shares. All right, so GameStop right now is at nowhere, $23.93. It did spike up. Let's see, it spiked up to 24. So no real movement on GameStop right now. So I'll likely, as it sits, probably sell the 26s. Think they get juiced a little, hopefully. And like I told, so the two people talking about GME right now, you guys should have been in main chat last week when I was talking about it. But we had sold the contract and then it pushed up, and we're thinking, oh, we could have done better, anything like that. And you could have, but right now, as long as these spikes keep happening, the hope stays alive for the gamblers, and that's what we need right now. Once this does break, it's going to be a question of, do we want to be selling this for the next few weeks? Because I took this play just for some easy money, and it won't get easy if it comes down here. That'll end up taking probably like 4 more weeks. We'll be in this another month to make money on it, and that's going to be a long time. Especially because right now, if you guys did get the notification, I want to start buying Tesla. I want to get to 100 shares of Tesla, so that will be, I think, the next move. But anyway, Mentorship, don't go anywhere. I'm going to wrap it up here. I heard McDonald's is owned by the stockholders. Every company, yeah. As long as it's publicly traded, I'll have a thing to a video going over that. But make sure you guys are subscribed, and then we'll see you guys today, Sunday. You'll see me Tuesday. Have a good one.